Please welcome our host, Andre Perry, Executive Director of Hancher Auditorium and Office of Performing Arts and Engagement, University of Iowa.
Hey, y'all. It's so good to be here. I would just like to read a land acknowledgement before we begin this program. The Association of Performing Arts Professionals is located in our nation's capital, Washington, D.C. I wish to pay respect to the many indigenous tribes of this area that have been here since time immemorial and whose people still reside here today. We acknowledge that we are gathered on the ancestral lands of the Piscataway, the Pamunkey, and the Anacostan people who have stewarded this land throughout the generations. We pay respect to all of their ancestors, past, present, and future. We respect that many indigenous people continue to live and work on this land and acknowledge their ongoing contributions to this area. All right, we're going to get started. Fam, my APAP family, it is so good to be here with you, all of you. I wish it was in person, but I'm good to wait until January for a reunion after 3 long years. For the past 2 years, many of us have been waiting for the next phase to begin, for the pause, the anxiety, the reflection to all end, and for the next chapter to begin. It seems now that we are in the new world, that the transformation to our next era is already upon us. Masks, no masks, another booster, no booster, artists on the road crossing fingers. Will we make it through the whole month without someone in our group catching a sickness and sending everyone into quarantine? We waited for a truly definitive reopening, but there might not be a big reopening that sends us back to normal. We might just be in it, this time of destabilization. How do we deliver joy under such circumstances? Or how can we ensure that our commitments to joy, love, and understanding are constant under these circumstances? Know this: how we behave today and tomorrow defines the field our future colleagues will work in 50 years from now and beyond, which is another way to say the future we were waiting for has already arrived, and we are building the next future right now. And it might look a bit crooked, but our work has always been seeing the beauty even when it's sideways, remembering policy matters, agreements matter, the fine print is real, the way we make contracts spiritually or on DocuSign, the way we read and revise the language of congressional legislation that may or may not determine the fates of our organizations, our artists, our communities, the way in which we embody those words in mission, vision, value statements. The work is every moment. It isn't one radical burst. It is a series of commitments, returning to the charge again and again and evolving over time. We take a brief pause on this beautiful day to celebrate and reflect on how and why we do our work. With APAP behind us today, we honor the enduring spirit of our field. Today's nominees at these honors have achieved remarkable measures of excellence. More importantly, they have offered frameworks through which we all might sculpt some form of community-driven awesomeness that extends beyond one workshop, one show, one talk, and reverberates, inspires, reshapes for decades to come. As always, our feast is only as plentiful as the company we keep, and our company must always be expansive and inclusive. And these nominees remind us of those values. So we welcome you to the APAP Honors, and we will now hear remarks from our committed, thoughtful, and impeccably tough leader, President and CEO, Lisa Richards-Toney. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, Andre, and welcome, everyone. Colleagues and friends, it's lovely to see you on this happy occasion. And while I can't literally see each of and every one of you, thanks to the screen, I can certainly feel your energy. I'm so glad you're here. This is the energy that carries me forward in my work here at APAP daily. I want to first give special thanks to everyone who made the APAP Honors possible. The APAP Awards Committee, our sponsor IMG Artists, and the APAP staff. Thank you so much. The 2022 APAP Honors is a celebration of our 31 nominees, our awardees, and all of you, our colleagues. And at this unique moment in this post-pandemic renewal of our industry, as our phoenix rises, we are holding space for the bold and the courageous. We are creating space with that deep sense of belonging and inclusion. And while it may be overdue for the performing arts field to have a look at itself, I'm asking you to look at who we are today with so much to celebrate in this moment here. As you share in the congratulatory revelry that is our field, that our people have earned, I also challenge you to imagine what could be tomorrow. We see you, arts workers. Yes, you. We are worth fighting for. For many of you, I need not repeat the catastrophe of the last 2 years that we have endured. After all, today is a celebration. But lest we not lose sight from whence we came. 55% of our workers lost their jobs. And that figure doesn't include the loss of business to the self-employed or the business owner. While the Shuttered Venues Operating Grant enacted by Congress was a lifeline for many and delivered more than $16 billion to our businesses to stave off permanent closure, not everyone was saved, and most businesses are still in recovery. According to our latest Arts Forward survey, 27% of our part-time workforce hasn't returned or is working fewer hours, which means full-time staff are working harder than ever. And according to that survey, most of us are worried that our colleagues will leave the field permanently. This is also in line with Return to the Stage study, which notes that a quarter of all performing arts workers report that they may leave the field within the next 5 years. Say it isn't so. So yes, while we absolutely have so much to celebrate with all that we have achieved, look at all of the remarkable nominees today, our remarkable performing arts field. We must keep the drumbeat going for this industry if we are to have cause to celebrate this occasion for years to come. Famous words, it's not my problem. Okay, fine. It's not your problem. It's our problem. As an industry, we were not equipped for multiple crises to cascade at once. And we have historically underdelivered when it comes to economic security for our arts workers. It is, though, within our power to do something about it, all of it. We must ask ourselves, in the words of Courtney Harge at this year's APAP conference, are we treating our capital as a limited resource and our labor as an unlimited resource? As evidenced by the APAP Honors event, our work, both its process and output, strikes at the heart of what the human soul needs to live an intentional and purpose-driven life. And over the last 2 years, this has been amplified as essential to the very essence of our beings and our humanity. This is what we do. We, arts workers, are our own best, and the world needs our best. To get to our best, the magnanimity of who we are and how we value one another, we must start at home with ourselves. Calling all of us, artists, writers, choreographers, conductors, directors, designers, technicians, managers, advocates, all of us working in this field to commit to a vision to leading with our people first. Our people are precious human resources that should not be undervalued due to financial resource conundrum. We can no longer cut our way to freedom. We need our arts workers. And since we agree that getting back to work is what we should be doing, while we're at it, let's ensure our workplaces and work cultures are humanity-centered and anti-racist, and that they are not threatened by diversity in all its forms, but safe spaces to deepen understanding and appreciation for the multiple identities that make up a dynamic human condition, and that they make inclusion and belonging more than buzzwords lifted from the APAP 10-20-30 pledge. Take and act on the pledge, my people. Out there in this advocacy space, getting creative workers back to work is one of the most important actions we as a field can undertake. The list is long of those who have led the charge. Collectively, we have all, and we are continuing to make significant space for our lawmakers to listen to arts workers and for we arts workers to be heard. Applause, applause. This liminal space from which we have all, for some time now, been operating within has been refreshing. It's a shared space of resources and power. Let's not lose that spirit of togetherness as we move forward to keep the drumbeat alive. I know it's hard and mighty unsettling, but I remind you, we can do hard things. This is a time of reckoning when we are awakened to really see what we need to do in order to protect the creative, the vulnerable, the future seers, our artists, the arts workers that make the ecosystem turn, and commit to what we are willing to do to achieve it. Why does all this matter? When artists and arts workers are resourced and supported, when we have jobs and can take pride in doing the work that fulfills us, our collective well-being is sustained. A living wage should not be reserved for those at the top of an organizational pyramid. Allowing time off to tend to what's personal or providing adequate health insurance should not be a luxury if we believe that arts workers should have access to the same American dream as the next worker in the next industry. We are real people, not passion projects, with real responsibilities and real lives worth fighting for. But arts workers, I say to you, if the cost of daycare dissuades you from even considering having a child, or you can't afford to consume the whole paycheck food you know will nourish your creative vessel, let alone the apartment, or dare I say it, a house in the city that you made vibrant, what is the point? And what are we working for? When we care about the arts and our people, there is an everlasting ripple effect. Yes, we have come a long way, and we are hearing the drum beat, but the drum needs to beat much more loudly for the arts worker. This is a movement for our people, and dare I say, for the most compelling and unspoken cause in our industry right now. We cannot afford to not pay attention. Paying attention allows us to see the supremacist cultural blinders that have made us complicit. As we celebrate our honorees and their incredible contributions to our industry, their awe-inspiring talents, and their enduring labor, it is my hope that we can imagine forward a bit, just imagine, and see a robust, a healthy, thriving performing arts workforce that is sustainable, so that the next generation of honorees have studios to create in and desks from which to manage. And what about those arts workers who are employed by entities that are historically financially under-resourced? It's a double reckoning that many of my Black and Brown colleagues and those working in small or rural communities feel deeply. Our field can no longer simply cater to the small percent who historically have held the power. Our arts workers demand that we pay attention to all of them, all of us. This shouldn't be an either-or scenario, but a right sizing, if you will, an act of equity. I applaud the foundations who have committed themselves to move with the field at this time by responding to our need for an equitable operation that will help realize our promise to not privilege financial resource over human resource. After all, how do we create that sustainable culture of belonging if we are worried that our business model can't carry our people? And the challenge to sustainability that a restart work environment presents makes it hard. But what lessons can we learn from past labor movements? What are we learning from the reemergence of workers' movements today? And what are we, the performance-based culture bearers, going to do? Culture preservation and our story are at stake. Our people, arts workers today and of the future, are worth the continuum. We are worth celebrating and fighting for. Let the drum beats resound, because we are stronger, you know it, together. Thank you. I'd now like to acknowledge our sponsors and funders who have made this event, the APAP Honors 2022, possible. Thank you, IMG Artists, for sponsoring APAP Honors and for your support to our annual awards event for many years. Please also join me in acknowledging the critical support for programs and operations that APAP receives from foundations and federal agencies. They support many of us, and we appreciate their dedication to the performing arts industry. The Doris Duke Charitable Foundation, the Fan Fox and Leslie R. Samuels Foundation, the Mertz Gilmore Foundation, the Andrew W. Mellon Foundation, the Wallace Foundation, the National Endowment for the Arts, APAP board members and APAP Board Alumni, individual donors like you, and all of you, thank you. Let's get started with the awards. In 2013, APAP established the Halsey Alice North Board Alumni Award in honor of the longtime exemplary service to the field of our good friends and colleagues, the Norths. This award is made for outstanding and continuous contributions to the field and industry by former APAP board members. This year's presentation of the award is certainly special. We love you, Halsey, and we love you, Alice. To introduce this year's award winner, please welcome our colleague, Colleen Jennings Rogensack.
I'm Colleen Jennings Rogensack, Vice President of Cultural Affairs at Arizona State University and Executive Director of ASU Gamage. I am the proud chair of the Halsey and Alice North Award Committee, along with my colleagues Ken Fisher, Susie Circumer, Nicole Borelli-Hearn, Neil Barkley, Mario Garcia-Durham, and Alice and Halsey North. Alice and Halsey North headed the North Group from 1987 to 2018. They have been active members in APAP since 1975. Alice and Halsey North were our first recipients of this award in 2013 in recognition of their commitment to APAP as board alum. Recipients of the Alice and Halsey North Award, and I quote, have demonstrated in their words and actions the beautiful spirit of generosity and giving, not only on a continuing basis to the Association of Performing Arts Professionals, but to the field at large. Previous recipients include Nikki Shepard, Lisa Booth, Ken Fisher, Ivan Segoda, Susie Circumer, Jackie Davis, and myself. The committee is proud to present the 2022 Halsey and Alice North Award to Susie Farr. Susie's history includes having been Executive Director of Cal Performances at UC Berkeley. While at Cal Performances, Susie was not only a member of the WA Board, but she became a member of the APAP Board when the organization resided in Madison, Wisconsin. Susie left the board to become president of APAP and, after surveying the field, moved the organization in 1989 to Washington, D.C., taking its place among other national service organizations. Susie led surveying the field, equity amongst its members, publishing a book on the field, An American Dialogue, which is still used today, among the many things she's accomplished. Susie left APAP to become the director of the Clarice Smith Center at the University of Maryland and continued to serve APAP. She has been a treasured advisor to former President Mario Garcia-Durham and our present president and leader, Lisa Richards-Tooney. Susie is active on the alumni board and supports the field through service at the Mid-Atlantic Arts, Maryland State Arts Commission, and has served on panels, public funding, and private foundations, as well as advisors on searches for the next generation of leaders in our field. This was a unanimous choice for the 2022 Halsey and Alice North Award. Congratulations, Susie Farr.
Thank you, Colleen. Having retired almost 9 years ago, I have to say I was completely shocked and deeply honored when I was informed that I would be the recipient of the Halsey and Alice North Award for board service to APAP. APAP has played a huge part in my life. From the very beginning of my first basic workshop at Lake Arrowhead, California, through to a Leadership Institute in Minneapolis, and then continuing to learn throughout my career. And in addition to those formal training opportunities, I have learned so much from my colleagues in the field, from presenters that I've worked with, from artist managers who know so much more about the artists that they work with and the artists that they see, whether they represent them or not, and who always are generous in sharing that information. And finally, from the artists themselves, when they arrive in our venues and we see their work on stage, but more than that, we have time to spend with them learning about their artistic and personal journeys. So I think that learning piece is critically important. It has been to me, and I hope it is to all of you. And as I see what's happening in the field now, I'd say it is. There's lots of learning going on and lots of new ideas all the time. And I think that's great and important. And I really want to thank Lisa for taking this job and bringing all this new energy to APAP. She took over at the worst possible time, and she has just brought the association and the field alive in a time when it would have been very easy to just duck and run. So thank you to all of you who continue to labor in the field, and thank you to Lisa for your great work. I so admire and respect all of you.
Wow, Susie, thank you. You're the one that deserves the thanks. We won't duck and run, I promise you. We'll hold steady. I have everybody's commitment on that. Thank you, Colleen, as well. Now I'd like to introduce a very special award. For the first time, we at APAP have an award to honor the work of the Creative and Independent Producer Alliance, CIPA. Established in 2022 by the Association of Performing Arts Professionals and the Creative and Independent Producer Alliance, the CIPA Award for Outstanding Achievement in Creative Producing recognizes a U.S.-based independent creative producer working in the live performing arts, whose inventive spirit in the independent sector and body of work have had a significant impact on the field of the performing arts. To introduce this year's winner, please join me in welcoming Jennifer Harrison Newman.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Jennifer Harrison Newman, and I am a proud member of the Creative and Independent Producers Alliance, or CIPA. CIPA is a US-based network of creative and independent producers who are dedicated to developing and supporting new live performance works across artistic disciplines. Our mission is to support and sustain the work of independent and creative producers and the artists and projects they produce by creating visibility and community, identifying and dispersing resources, and providing tools and advocacy for building new live works and sustainable practices. Creative and independent producers wear many hats, perform all manners of functions, often in the background, and more often than not, do not call themselves creative independent producers. Today, we are here to honor one such a unicorn. Creative director, executive director, artistic director, marketing and press representative, collaborator, and friend, Toria Beard is one of those creative producers who uses many other titles to describe herself and her body of work. For over 30 years, Toria has been a fierce advocate for artists and the arts. Toria has worked tirelessly with individual artists to develop and promote their work. A deep thinker, a compassionate listener, process-oriented, and results-focused, artists who work with Toria feel taken care of, seen, heard, and most importantly, they trust Toria immensely. Many times, it is Toria that champions an artist and their work before the larger field does. Through her work with A Broader Way, Toria has centered mentorship as an integral part of her practice. As the executive director of that organization, she has also continued to re-examine and address how leaders and educators in the field can better implement equity and inclusion practices. A lifelong learner, Toria exemplifies the Creative and Independent Producers Alliance mission and values.
Hello, my friend, and congratulations. I'm so absolutely thrilled for you as an artist who has been touched so deeply by your work. You have changed my artistry. You have connected me to people. You make me a better person. I can't think of anyone more deserving of you for this honor.
Congratulations, Toria, on this recognition, deserved recognition. You represent everything that is good in this world. You are a North Star for all of us, the way that you serve justice and arts at the same time. But you also just get the joke and the humor and the fun of it. It doesn't have to feel like work. And I'm so proud of everything that you have accomplished, are accomplishing, and will accomplish.
Congratulations, Toria. Hi. I wanted to say how much I love you. You know, I had this idea of making this performing arts camp with 13-year-old kids and had no idea what I was doing. And you've given it this integrity and this passion. It's one of my proudest moments was working alongside you and being on this journey together.
Hi, I'm Advocacy, and I'm here to say congratulations, Toria Beard. Congratulations. I'm so proud of you. I can't think of anybody else who deserves this more than you. You are just an incredible human. You make everything better. You make my life better. You make our art making better. You make collaborations better. I love the way that you lead with grace and with generosity and with empathy and compassion, and the way you listen and the way you mobilize to use all of your experience as an artist, as a performer, as an artistic director, as an executive director, as a PR person, like all of the things that you have experienced in your lifetime to really support an artist and their vision. You are so deserving of this award. Congratulations. Thank you and love you.
Toria is doing the work and is well deserved of this recognition. It is my distinct and immeasurable honor and privilege to award Toria Beard the inaugural CIPA Award for Outstanding Achievement in Creative Producing.
It is my honor to accept the inaugural CIPA Award for Outstanding Achievement in Creative Producing. Thank you to the CIPA nominating and organizing committees. I appreciate you all. Thank you to Jennifer Newman for nominating me. Thank you to all of the partners and collaborators who invested in the creation of this award, including APAP. And while I'm in the mode of thanking, I would like to thank my ride or die, day in, day out support system, my mother, Valerie Foster, my wife, Ayadeli Cassell. I love you so much. And I also would like to thank all of the artists that have trusted me, that have entered into creative partnerships with me, that have collaborated with me, and have invited me into their processes, their vision. I would like to thank all of the institutional leaders that have been open and receptive to working with me, to helping me to develop my ideas and to offer an outlet for other artists and their work. I have truly been living my dream. This is the work that I've always wanted to do. This is what I've happily committed my life to, and never thought really about being acknowledged for it in this way. So this is such an incredible honor, and it is also, it affirms it affirms the work that I've been doing. And for that, I'm very grateful. I would also like to say that it is because of my mentors and my mentees that I feel empowered to dream and to move forward and to be relentless and to persevere in the face of so many obstacles as it relates to producing. So I'm very grateful to my mentee mentor community as well. And I just want to continue on doing this work. And now I feel like I have you all at my back, pushing me forward, and that means so much to me. So I send you all lots of love, be well, and thank you again.
Please welcome APAP Board Chair Renee Williams-Niles.
Hello, and thank you so much. I am so proud to be coming to you from Los Angeles, California, and great to be here. I am inspired, truly, by all of the words and the continued work of so many of our colleagues. So it really is a joy to be here to celebrate many of you, as well as our partners and our leaders within the field. And now I have the great pleasure of reminding each and every one of you to give and to support APAP in all the different ways that you can. And certainly that includes of your time, your expertise, your energy, especially here today and beyond, and also your contributions and what is possible for you and a meaningful gift for you. I honestly, I can't think of a more impactful time in order to continue to support not just APAP, but the work that we are striving to do to ensure the success in the future of our field and of each other. There are, of course, different ways that you can support at this extraordinary time, and particularly your support will help us increase access to both virtual and, yes, in-person activity and programs, which will happen in return, but also ensuring that future of our field and the support of new colleagues, as well as of our established leaders who are doing transformative work. There are many ways that you can give. You can make a one-time donation through our website. You can also give to specific areas, and that can include artist career development, our emerging leaders program. Also, you can support our racial equity, diversity, and inclusion commitment. And there are the endowment funds, which include Classical Connections as well as William Dawson. And of course, you can give to our general operating. You might not know this, but for those of you that own some stock and are willing to part with some of that, you can also gift stock to APAP. And certainly there are many of us here who will live for the next 100 years, but the notion, and we are in that stage in our lives where we might be using the word wills or starting to think about our legacy. And certainly you can name APAP in your will, right next to your dog or others. I also want to take this opportunity to say thank you, as so many of you are past donors, current donors. I want to also express my gratitude to past board members, as well as my current board colleagues who are here with us today. So many who have contributed time and time again for many years and have continued to do so. And so I want to express our gratitude for your support of APAP, which of course in turn supports each and every one of us, our colleague, the community, as well as the future of our field. So thank you all for being here. And now let's get back to honoring so many of those that have done monumental and inspiring work. Thank you.
Already excited about these awards that have already gone out, just feeling that energy. And I just want to pause for a moment and just thank Lisa for that introduction. I know we came here to celebrate, and she came here to remind us that there's still necessary work to do, which we will do when we're done with the celebration. So we just want to give you a shout out, Lisa, and we'll continue with these awards. Up next, we're going to do the Sidney R. Yates Advocacy Award. The Yates Award honors an individual or an organization for a particular advocacy effort or for a sustained advocacy campaign at the national, state, or local level that has had a significant impact on the performing arts. The award honors the late Congressman Sidney R. Yates, whose commitment to the arts was legendary and who continues to serve as an inspiration to all of us.
Hello, I'd like to greet you in my Lakota language. I'm Oglala Lakota from the Pine Ridge Indian Reservation in southwestern South Dakota. Ha mitakiapi lori machiapi kisto, dona yahipiki yuha chante washte anape, chiushapi kisto. First Peoples Fund has reached and honored and supported more than 4,000 culture bearers, cultural practitioners, and creators across this nations. I want to extend my gratitude to Eleanor Savage at the Jerome Foundation for this honorable nomination. I also want to lift up my brothers and sisters at the Intercultural Leadership Institute, the First Nations Performing Art, and Art Change Us. They have worked hard and remained steadfast in advocating for American Indian, Alaska Native, and Native Hawaiian culture bearers and creators. Over 10 years ago, we began working with artists, with our allies and friends from performing arts and presenting organizations, as we saw an increasing need in tribal communities and the creators entering our fellowship programs who lacked the resources to present their work. Yet through our research, we knew that 40% of the households in tribal communities are engaged in some form of tradition-based cultural practices in the arts. Today, 51% of our fellows are creators. Most recently, with support from the Doris Duke and NORC, we launched the Brightening the Spotlight report, amplifying the voices of Native creators. And we are presenting We the Peoples Before at the John F. Kennedy Center for Performing Arts as we celebrate our 25th anniversary on July 1st and 2nd with our partners at the Reach. We the Peoples Before will explore and expand deep truths and reflections about the history and experience of this country's Native peoples, featuring nearly 50 of the greatest storytellers, spoken word artists, and hip hop artists from across the nation. It is clearly time that we move beyond land acknowledgement and continued invisibility of Indigenous creators in America's theaters. We will continue with our brothers and sisters to advocate for Indigenous creators and culture bearers. Collectively, we encourage you to change your policies and honor America's First Peoples as we strive for a more just and equitable nation. Plamea.
Thank you, Lori. So grateful for your work, and a great lead into our next award, which is the William Dawson Award for Programmatic Excellence. And there's been so much innovation in programming these last 2 years, given the situation, and very excited to see how we go into this new world with hybrid and new levels of programming, as well as a little bit of the traditional. And in this moment, we look back at some of the greats that have been in our field. The William Dawson Award for Programmatic Excellence and Sustained Achievement in Programming. This is it.
Hello, my name is Beth McMillan. I am the Executive Director of ArtTown and an APAP board member. The William Dawson Award for Programmatic Excellence is presented to an individual or organization for the quality, innovation, and vision of program design, audience building, and community involvement efforts. The award is named to honor William M. Dawson for the service he provided to the field of arts administration during his 14 years as director of the Association of Performing Arts Presenters, then the Association of College, University, and Community Arts Administrators, also known as ACUCAA. The ingenuity of artistic creation during the last few years has been extraordinary and required innovative thoughtfulness. Congratulations to all the nominees for your vision, flexibility, and success.
I'm Sarah Arison, Board Chair for Young Arts, and I could not be more proud to receive the William Dawson Award for Programmatic Excellence and Sustained Achievement on behalf of Young Arts. It is humbling to be recognized by our colleagues at APAP and to be held in the same high regard as our fellow nominees, not to mention the esteemed list of previous recipients. Young Arts celebrated 40 years of supporting artists this year, and the more than 20,000 award winners who have received recognition through our program are a testament to our commitment to amplifying innovative, creative potential and our dedication to fostering a diverse and collaborative arts community. Throughout the years, Young Arts programming has expanded significantly and has consistently responded to the needs of artist community we serve. Ongoing mentorship, funding, professional development, and space for artists to both develop and present new works are just some of the ways in which we support the next generation of creatives. Our most sincere gratitude to the APAP board, members, and community for this incredible honor. Thank you.
Thank you, Sarah. Up next, we have the Award of Merit for Achievement in Performing Arts.
Hi, my name is Jean Cook. I'm one of 3 artists who sit on the board of directors of the Association of Performing Arts Professionals. I am recording this on Lenape land, and I am very happy to welcome you to APAP Honors. I'm also here to introduce the Award of Merit for Achievement in the Performing Arts. This is an award that APAP gives every year. These are individuals, groups, or ensembles who've been nominated by their peers, the membership of APAP. These are people whose genius, energy, and excellence have defined or redefined an art form for today's audiences. These are artists who've had a profound and lasting effect on the performing arts. I am sending gratitude and joy to all of the artists who've been nominated this year. Thank you so much for your critical work.
Hello, everyone. It was with just great surprise and honor that I found out about this award going to me, and I was just thrilled and very humbled. APAP is a special organization to me. When Urban Bushwomen was at the lowest point in its almost 40-year career, and I went to funders for support, and I couldn't get any support except for the late, great Claudine Brown. It was really the presenting community that kept Urban Bushwomen alive, kept us afloat. And so it's so much gratitude that I have to be honored by this community. I want to thank Linda Brombach, Pomegranate Arts, for nominating me. And it's just, again, to express how full I feel by getting this award. When I read the email, thank you all. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you so much. 40 years of Urban Bushwomen. We are thankful. We are grateful. We now turn our attention to NAPAMA, and we invite Gail Boyd from NAPAMA to come speak.
Hi, I'm Gail Boyd, President of the North American Performing Arts Managers and Agents, otherwise known as NAPAMA. The NAPAMA Awards are annual citations given as a means of recognizing the work of our colleagues in presenting and in artist management. Nominees are chosen based on 3 criteria: exemplifying mentoring, setting an example of best practices, achievement and leadership in their disciplines, and cultivating and promoting diversity, practicing inclusion, and creating equity for the underserved members of our community. Gwethelyn Bronner is retiring as the Executive Director of the James Lumbar Center for the Performing Arts at the College of Lake County, Illinois. She's worked there since 1996, and she has mentored many people during that time. Previously, she worked as the artistic director at the Fleetwood Jourdain Community Theater in Evanston, Illinois, where she continued her mentoring. She served on the APAP board for 9 years, including executive committee service for 3 years as board secretary. She also works with the local professional consortium in Illinois, the Illinois Presenters Network. NAPAMA is proud to name Gwethelyn Bronner as the recipient for the award for excellence in presenting for the performing arts. Congratulations, Gwethelyn.
Hi, everyone. I deeply appreciate this unexpected and wonderful honor from NAPAMA, and I thank all the fabulous agents, managers, and independent producers that I've encountered and worked with through the years. Your dedication to the artists you represent is truly inspiring. I will cherish this honor from you forever. I thank APAP board and staff so very much. I would not have come to know NAPAMA and how our collective board work is aligned with the same end goals had I not served on APAP's board. And I sincerely thank all JLC staff, past and current, without whom our James Lumber Center would not have endured these past 25 years, including the COVID closing and then reopening. Thank you, Team JLC. And finally, I thank the College of Lake County for all of your support through the years. Thank you very much.
Mr. Mojo is a composer, performer, producer, manager, and presenter in music, stage, and film. Over the course of his decades-long career, he has released 23 albums of original music. A national and international ambassador for the state of Louisiana, he's the historian who got the Zydeco Rub Board into the Smithsonian Institution. Mr. Mojo is an active advocate for the arts, working with many of America's top agencies as a member, a speaker, and mentor. I can attest to his mentorship because I consider him as one of my mentors. He served on the NAPAMA board for 6 years. NAPAMA is proud to name Mr. Mojo as the recipient of the Liz Silverstein Award for Agent Manager of the Year. Congratulations, Mojo.
I want to thank everyone in advance, right here, right now. Don't know what I'm going to say in the next couple of seconds, but I want to thank each and every one of you for being my friend and colleague. I've done actually nothing extraordinary. I've done what everyone sitting out there has done every day, trying to survive in the entertainment field and performing arts. The board members have worked so hard, the presidents have worked so hard, and every single one of our members in NAPAMA and in APAP have worked so hard. We have a long history of relationship. We've worked together to make people happy. And that's the whole point. My daddy always said, son, you cannot push, you can only lead. And that's what I've tried to do in my life, be an example for others. And Mama also used to say, son, you can't jump around like a monkey forever, but I'm going to try. Everyone who served and everyone who survived to this point can take pride. And I think we should actually give everyone else a big hand right now. But I do want to especially thank all the presenters who allowed me to make millions of people happy over the last 58 years. Without connecting artists to audiences, the art kind of is like a tree falling alone in the woods and nobody may hear it. So for me, NAPAMA works hard to make that business relationship work, to bring artists to audiences in a big supply chain of artists, agents, managers, presenters, and audiences. I want to thank you. Like I said, I've done nothing extraordinary. Everybody here has done the same. So let's just say this award is for all of us. We're a great community. NAPAMA is a great organization, and the arts will live forever. Y'all take care. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Gwethelyn. Thank you so much, Mr. Mojo. just so happy for both of you. We're nearing the end of this award ceremony, these APAP honors. And before we jump to the fan Taylor, just want to reflect for a moment on the community that we see coming out in these award videos, you know, from the people who are nominating, the people who are speaking on behalf of the nominees to the winners. It's like just a reminder how connected this industry is, how connected this field is, how connected communities are that are spread all across our country and the world. And so just thankful again for everyone coming together to be part of this and to recognize and spend a moment to honor these folks. So we turn to the Fan Taylor Award, which is the Distinguished Service Award for exemplary service to the field of professional presenting. And this is our last award.
Good evening. My name is Mario Garcia Durham, and it is my pleasure to be here to present the Fan Taylor Distinguished Service Award. This award is presented to an individual whose outstanding service, creative thinking, and leadership have had a significant impact on the profession of presenting and/or the Association of Performing Arts Professionals. This award honors Fan Taylor for her many contributions to the field of presenting. Taylor was instrumental in the development of what was then called the Association of College and University Concert Managers. She served as Arts Professionals' first secretary-treasurer and eventually as the first executive director. Well, it gives me great pleasure to share that the 2022 Fan Taylor Award recipient is Janet Cowboy. Janet has so many fans and has earned the respect of so many of us for many years. There were many accommodations and letters written about her receiving this award. I'm going to take a couple of my favorite quotes since we're limited on time. This one's from David Harrington. The things that stand out in working with Janet are her consistency, her integrity, and her honesty. And from Bill Bragan, she has been a singular force in harnessing the creativity and innovative spirit of David Harrington and Kronos and helping lead them to being the most impactful contemporary chamber music ensemble of our time. And finally, one of my favorites from Jenny Billfield. She's not just a person who does a job. She is fully a fifth member of the group. Properly speaking, it's the Kronos Quintet. So, Janet, I can't think of a more worthy individual. Congratulations again.
It is truly my great honor to receive the Fan Taylor Distinguished Service Award. Thank you to the association and to those who nominated me. Congratulations to my fellow nominees, several of whom I have known for many years. It is a privilege to see my name amongst yours. And what an honor to see my name added to the 40 recipients who preceded me. Again, that list includes many dear colleagues I know well and have worked with for a very long time. I so appreciate being in your company. I attended my first APAP conference in 1983. In those days, the booths were arranged in sections, with the C booth being the most affordable. I was out in section C in a half booth. I'm not sure if I talked to even one presenter during that conference. In those days, the workshops, the awards lunch, the gatherings, and other things were all offered to presenters only. Things have changed a lot over these years. I was proud to serve on the board of APAP. I was one of the first managers to do so and the first woman manager in that role. I was also proud to co-chair the conference twice and to be involved with APAP in many other ways over the years. I can recall countless awards at the New York Hilton Ballroom. The big reveal of the Fan Taylor Award was always a wonderful highlight. To now have this moment for myself personally is incredibly special, and I'm so grateful. I recently marked 40 years with the Kronos Quartet, Kronos Performing Arts Association. During those decades, APAP has been an anchor, a touchstone, a place to gather, a forum for difficult conversations, a place to celebrate and to experiencing amazing work on and off the stage. It has been my great privilege to be part of this field as it moved from them and us, to a community of artists, managers, presenters, and other arts workers whose job it is to connect art to audiences and to hopefully have an impact on lives along the way. Thank you to APAP leadership, both past and present, to my family, to my many dear personal friends and colleagues, to my own staff and board, and to the Kronos Quartet for making this life in music possible for me. Thank you so much.
Congratulations to all our nominees for this year's APAP Honors. Your work has and will continue to advance our entire field. I talked about the new world earlier, the new world that we're now in. I talked about us being in it, writing our collective future right now. As we look forward, we always have our values as our compass. I'm going to go off script here a little bit, but I just want to again acknowledge Lisa's notes at the beginning about the time we're in the importance of advancing our artists and arts workers, and remind ourselves that our work now determines tomorrow's field. We are important and we need to take care of ourselves, but every decision we're making is also building the next thing for the people who are going to come up behind us. And one thing that maybe we don't say enough is that the values we've learned in this field, it's okay if you step out of this and take them elsewhere, because this is good community work we've done together. And if you got to step out of the arts for a minute to bring that goodness elsewhere, that too is okay. We hope you come back, but we're here to support you no matter what. And we are grateful to all our nominees today who help us return to frequently and reflect upon our values, and whose work has shown us in a range of ways how we can contribute to this world. We also have our community, that's us, our people. In particular today, it's our APAP community. And APAP is an organization that will be here to directly support our steps ahead. Some of APAP's key programs include the Arts Forward Grant, from support from the Mellon Foundation, and it was born from rigorous reflections on equitable agreements that bring artists, presenters, and communities together. As mentioned earlier, we have the 10-20-30 Racial Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion Pledge for the Performing Arts, and other resources that help us figure out how to evolve. We don't have to invent everything. Sometimes people can give us that map and we can build it in the way that is appropriate for our community and for our organizations. And APAP will always continue to act as an instigator of community gatherings, whether it's the conference, Emerging Leaders, Leadership Fellows Program. APAP will continue to bring us together. We are thankful for the work and real inspiration of our nominees today, for your support, your presence here today. Just grateful for all of it. We're in it. Let's continue to do it. I cannot wait to see you in person, but grateful for this now in this moment. I now turn to our leader, Lisa, for the final remarks.
Thank you, Andre. And Andre, thank you for joining us. You know, everyone adores you, and now I know why. I'm so glad you said yes to our ask to join us today as MC. It's been a delight sharing the screen with you, and I look forward to many more opportunities. So thank you so very much. I want to also share my congratulations to all of our nominees, our honorees, Susie Farr, Toria Beard, Jawale Jozala Willer, Gwethlyn Brooks, Mojo, and Janet Copperthwaite. Thank you for your work. Thank you for the years, the sweat, and I know the tears, but you continue to inspire me, and I speak on behalf of all of us in saying thank you. You inspire us all. I want to thank our awards committee, Linda Brumbach, Laura Colby, Ken Fisher, Chad Herzog, Steve Hoffman, Abel Lopez, Andre Perry, Samantha Pollock, Martha Redbone, Ted Russell, Michael Reed, Eleanor Savage. These folks put in the time to review all of these submissions with our staff. Thank you for your efforts. Very much appreciated. Thank you to our staff, Annie Peterson, Neil Narner Madison, J.G. Decker, Sue Noseworthy, Keisha Shorter, sorry, Keisha, Jenny Thomas, Kara Gluck, Krista Bradley, Willie Thomas, and Katrina Robinson. Thank you, our staff. We couldn't do it without you. We're strong, we're small, but we're mighty. Thank you to our board chair, Renee Williams-Niles, our vice chairs, Michael Reed and Daniel Romaine, and all of our board members. We definitely couldn't do this work without your love and your support. I also want to thank Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer and your staff for joining us today. We deeply thank you and appreciate the work that you have led us to with the Shuttered Venue Operators Grant and all the work you and other Senate leaders are doing to fight for the live arts industry. It's very much needed and very much appreciated. So many people to thank, and we can keep doing it because guess what, y'all? We have an after party. So let's keep it going. The staff at APAP will put in the chat where you're to go, but it's through Zoom. And actually, you have your link in the swap card where you can join. So don't let go. Just come on. We can dance and we can talk and have a great time. Thank you all for coming. Bye.